If you like this podcast, then consider checking out the other great podcasts at metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com.
Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello. I'm back with another scintillating episode of Skyrim Addict podcast. So back to my legendary Dawnguard crawl that I've been going on. I did finish that up. So I just met up with what's his name to get Ariel's bow last time. What's that farmer's name? At Darkfall Cave there. Anyway, so I met up with him and headed into the portal after filling the ewer, and then started doing the whole crawl through Darkfall and the Forgotten Vale, and the cave, Sharp Slope, and the Glacial Crevice. So many Falmer. I really like the look of Darkfall. It kind of has a Blackreach feel to it. And you get the Vale Deer and the Vale Saber Cats, and I think those are the two Vale type creatures that are in there. They just have different pelts. I was hoping it would be something cooler with them. Maybe, they would add a little more to it, but that doesn't happen. But it's still different pelts, so that was pretty cool. Serana and I crawled through there. Pretty much archery. I was a strict archery character. Not really many one-shots I was able to do. Still, I think I ended up finishing up the character at around level 49. So, most of the higher level Falmer, like the Warmongers and stuff like that, had to take 2, 3, 4 shots. So a lot of that I did from up high, sneak around. So dark in Darkfall, obviously, because of the name. Oh, and there's another thing. Don't go down the waterfall. Or no, that was after I got out. Sorry. So anyway, I get through Darkfall, fill the ewer at the end, go and you come out into the sunlight into glorious Forgotten Vale. I really like Forgotten Vale. I wish there was a little more there, maybe a few more caves and stuff to hop into and do some extra stuff with. But overall, it's been quite a while since I completely finished Dawnguard. So I had forgotten exactly, everything that was there. And, of course, I missed the first way shrine when you come out and you go, down into the valley. And yeah, I missed that and had to come all the way back. But that sucked. Yeah, that was great. Anyway, so we'll pretend I went to it first and took care of that one, and then went up in the mountains and got to the other ones. But once again, I use the Oral Shout quite a bit with this character because I do an archery, so obviously it makes it a little easier. So you're creeping through the Forgotten Vale. There's some Vale Deer, et cetera, out here too. And the Saber Cats and all. And the Frost Giants. The Frost Giants are pretty awesome. They reminded me of the giants in Game of Thrones. So I may have talked about this. I hope not. But yeah, so I finished through that. I collected some of the Paragons. Or actually, I got all of them. There's 5 of them. The Amethyst, Diamond, Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire. You come up over the one peak, and there's like a little ruin down below. And you're like, oh, what's this? And there's a frost giant across like the river lake from it. So you kill him. I felt really bad killing him because they're kind of majestic looking. But anyway, you kill him. You take the Paragon. You stick it in a thing. And it opens like a portal to a different place. I forget which one I got first. It might have been Emerald or something like that. No, I don't think it was. It was probably the Amethyst one. So, and then that lets you into an area above Darkfall Grotto, which is pretty fun. You're way up high in Darkfall. And you're looking down on everything. And if you break out the Aura Shout, you can, Aura Shout or whatever it's called, you can see everybody running around down below. And if you have some excellent archery skills, you can pick some stuff off, even though you've already been through there. But yeah, no, that was fun. I did that. Set up on high, picked off some Falmer, picked off some veiled deer and such. I went and specifically wanted to get all the paragons, so I went and did that as I was going around. So I did finish all 5 of those. And it's just it takes you into little sections of Forgotten Vale and Darkfall Passage that you can't get to otherwise. With, some good gear and stuff like that. Good swag, I guess. But, yeah, so I got through there, got to each of the way shrines, and made my way to what's his name's at, Verther, or Vyther, however you say it, the other Snow Elf's brother. The brother of Gelibor. So I get into he's got all the frozen Falmer and Charas, and they're all floating around in there. If you take something off of them, they will come back to life. So I did that, obviously, a few times just for fun. And then you get into his room, and I died a few times here, but it was a little tough on Legendary because I haven't really put much into health either, which is weird. But because I'm playing such a ranged character, I didn't really worry about it. So I got some magic, so I can do some conjuring. Oh, you know what I have? I have the Storm Atronach staff, which I use quite a bit with this one because they're pretty tough. So we get into his area. He's sitting on his throne. He's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to kill you, whatever. So he unfreezes his little frozen Falmer and Charas and stuff like that. So you got to battle them. So what I did was I would sneak and hide, of course, and shoot them with arrows. Have the enhanced Dwemer crossbow and lots of exploding bolts that I've been buying. Ice, fire, and shock, and also some Dwemer bolts that I made. Lots of those. So I was doing a lot of shooting. Lots of hiding, because if I get hit one time, I'm dead. So we're going along good. I got most of it down, and then he brings the roof down, and I get hit by a chunk of rock, and I got to start all over because I forgot to save. So I had to start all over pretty far back and do this all again. So Serana and I get through that. He blows the roof off the joint, and you're out in the Vale pretty much because everything's all wide opened up. And you have to go attack him again. He says some stuff. He tells you a story, quick story anyway. And Serana realizes he's a vampire, that that he's been infected by the what are they called? The Betrayed. He was infected by the Betrayed. So then Ariel turned the back on him. And he's out for revenge. So he's the one who actually wrote the prophecy that Harkin is following. So anyway, eventually end up defeating him and get Ariel's bow. Also got Ariel's shield. I think Ariel's shield is in one of the Paragon things. I'm trying to remember. Ariel's shield. Let's see if I can find that. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I think it might be. I'm not positive, though. It's kind of a good question. Anyway, so you get through that part, and then you got to take Ariel's bow, obviously, to go defeat Harkin. So I went back, geared up, Serana and I geared up. Oh, quickly, about the Forgotten Vale. Okay, so you get to this one part. I forget where it's at exactly, but you're down in a valley, in one of the valleys between the mountains. I'll talk a little bit about the Forgotten Vale now. Skip around a bit. But anyway, that was the gist of the story. You see this waterfall, and you're like, wow, wonder what happened. Oh, I just fell in the water and went down the waterfall, and now I'm falling through every goddamn cave in Darkfall and all the way back to the fucking beginning. That was fantastic. Yes, I did that. So, fortunately, you can get to that first way shrine and then get back to a relatively close one, which is what I did. So, don't go down the waterfall when you're in the Vale. Because you'll just go back to the beginning. Also, you get to the Twin Dragons at the lake. That was a cool battle. Pretty tough. Used the Storm and Serana as my tank. And once again shot arrows everywhere. That was basically what I did. It took a while. We battled, but we got through that part. Ariel's shield, you can. Oh, it's on. Okay, yep, you got to use the Ruby Paragon. That's what it is. So I picked up Ariel's shield. I did not use it, obviously, because I'm shooting arrows. So Serana and I, we go back to Dawnguard. We let them know what's going on, and we make our way up to the castle to go visit Mr. Harkin. So you got the epic castle battle. You're rolling through. The gargoyles start popping as you're walking in. I laid back, obviously, shooting, because that's what I do. And then I went into battle Major Harkin, and that was not an easy battle. I was shooting him. I think at first I was shooting him with the crossbow, but I think you have to beat him with Ariel's bow. I'm pretty sure, because I could not beat him. I kept getting him down pretty close, and then he would rejuvenate his health, and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I shot a lot of arrows. So let's see. Do you have to use it? I'm not sure. I don't know, but I did use it. Let's put it that way. Once I used Ariel's bow, then I was able to eventually beat him. So I started out using the crossbow because it was knocking more health off of him than the other, but then I eventually beat him. So I really enjoyed the Dawnguard legendary playthrough quite a bit. But I did close out that character. I did a little more. I also did all of the Radiant quests until they started repeating themselves. I did the Forgotten Vale book quest. I ended up finding all of those, all 4 volumes, and took those up to, what's his name? Urag, up at the College of Winterhold. He gives you, I think, 1,000 for each of them. But, and he also translates the books from Falmer language into something you can read. So I did that. That was just, little fetch and return quest kind of thing. I did pretty much all the Radiant quests, though, because they started repeating. Once they started repeating, I was like, all right, I think we're done with Dawnguard here. Because let's see. You go to one of the courts. What is it called? Oh, Jarl's Justice. You find there's a visiting advisor who you have to take out. Ancient Technology, I did all those. That was for the crossbows, to enhance the crossbows. Bolstering the ranks, that was early on. Cleansing the Light, just kill a boss of a vampire lair. Hide and Seek, you got to kill a vamp who's pretending to be a regular citizen. Hunting the Monster, just a, normal, go find a vampire somewhere, kill him. Jarl's Justice, did that. Lost Relic, there's 3 of those. I did those. The one, though, was in, was it Tovald's? And that was, I forgot how long that was. And there's a shitload of Falmer in there. So, Serana and I went to Tovald's. I believe that's how you say it. Or Tolvad's, whatever it's called. And we go sneaking in there. And there's all those multi-level caves where you can kind of get lost and shooting across the waterfall. So I used the Aura Whisperer. I used the bow. I used her. I lost her for a while. I got killed by one of those giant claw traps, which was awesome. Used a lot of crossbow. I had my glass bow. I preferred that. It was just faster than a crossbow. So I found it, it just draws faster. So even though it's not as much damage, a lot faster shooting. And some of the Falmer, even with the crossbow, were taking 2-3 shots. So then you get to the end of Tovald's or Tolvad's. I forget what it is exactly. And there's like this, like a little underground lake. To the left, there's a Falmer. To the right, there's a little Falmer hut. There's center, there's like a little circle with a bridge going across the water. I died a few times right there. I don't know why. I always have trouble right there every time I go into that place. But I used Serana again and used my Storm Atronach staff and took care of that. And that's where one of I think it was like the rune hammer was in there, or maybe it was the shield, the rune shield, one of the lost relics. But that was the most memorable of those. You get the preemptive strike, which is you destroy the vampire before it turns its allies, and then rescue or somebody you know gets kidnapped. Those were mostly most of the ones were at like bandit places I found. That just happened to be where most of the rescue stuff was, or preemptive strike. Last one I think was Halted Stream maybe, and it was Lucia was kidnapped, so I went and cleared her out. So I ended that character. Once I did all those, I did Dawnguard, and I was happy with that. And I was going to go on and do the main quest, and I was like, nah, because I had an idea for a new character that I had thought about, and I decided to go ahead with it. So my new character is the Vegan Warrior. And so this character will not use or smith any weapons or any potions or any gear that involves animals in any way. And the way and the only caveat I have put to this is magic created animals. So like the familiar obviously is not an actual animal, it's just magic created. Or like a frost atronach, or I don't consider them as animals since they're magically created. Trolls, dragons. I'm not even starting a dragon quest on this one. Trolls, dragons, whatever, saber cats, horses, whatever else. All animals. I'm killing all hunters I come across. All hunters die first. I'm a little bit into this playthrough. Just started it yesterday. Didn't do a whole lot. I went to the college first because I figured I'm gonna have to do a lot of magic because I'm only wearing. I also found that I did make a mistake and I killed a spider the one time, so that was an accident, just natural reaction because you're used to doing that. So I'm really building up my illusion so I can either fear or calm the animals as they come at me, which is quite helpful. I've used that a bunch already with, what was coming after me? I think it was just some spiders and stuff. So I feared them and they ran away and things like that. So I started the College of Winterhold because I figured that would be my best course of action. I'm going to be thieving. I'm only wearing the black robes because I did look at the other. I'm not even my rules for this character are he won't even use the weapons so not only will he not smith them, he won't use them. So I can't even pick up and unenchant, learn the enchantments from a dagger. I can have bows and arrows because the bow you don't need leather to make, and the arrow you don't need leather to make. So I've made it a little more difficult, but a lot of magic, a lot of illusion. I'm only using the foot wraps because they don't seem to have leather. They look to just be some kind of cloth foot wrap. I'm guessing. If not, if I'm wrong, please tell me. Anybody has any information on what things are made of that you don't smith, that would be awesome. The one set of robes you get from the college seem to have some leather on them, and they seem to have a leather satchel, so I discarded them, and I'm just going with the black robes because they just look like black robes with a rope around them. So that's what I'm going to go with. Rings, necklaces, obviously, circlets. Hoods seem to be hoods that don't look like leather I'm using. No gloves, because obviously I haven't come across any gloves that don't look like leather. So I'm losing out there a bit. I'm not going to be able to enchant anything to put on my hands, which is going to hold me back a bit, but that's how I'm playing it. Doing a lot of sneaking, obviously, because if not, I will die. And I'm definitely going to go through the Mage's College quest with this one. Maybe even the Thieves, because I have no qualms. I've done a lot of stealing already, so I'm going to do that. Lots of food, because here's an example. When I'm not even picking up stuff, which is weird. I'm not picking, so it's hard to make money too. Because I'm not grabbing potions or anything that I find on the shelves because I don't know what ingredients are involved in making them. So the only potions I'm using are ones that I make because I know what ingredients are going into them. Same with weapons and armor and stuff. I'm not grabbing any of that stuff, and I can't sell it or disenchant it because it's not part of what my character would do. So it's been a little tough getting money. I'll admit, struggling along. Usually I have a lot more money by now. One thing that is good is I'm not becoming over encumbered anytime soon. The only thing I'm pretty much picking up is food items, fruits, vegetables, wheat, things like that. So that's going to be a fun playthrough. I'm super excited to do that. That's kind of what I'm, I don't know. I thought of the idea just off the top of my head, and then I'm like, I think I'm going to do that. So I think that's kind of what killed my passion for playing the other character that I just ended, the Dawnguard character that I just ended. So, Vegan Warrior, my new character, going to be rolling with the Dark Elf. It's a Dark Elf. I went with the Dark Elf because I figured I'd be using a good bit of magic and the fire resistance I like. So, I went Dark Elf, and I figured I probably would have fit a Wood Elf better. But I went Dark Elf. And so he's going to roll like that. He's going to sneak around, kill hunters, try and save as many animals as he can, not kill them, not use them for battle or anything. So that's my plan for this one. All right. That's all I got for this time. So also, depending on when you listen to this, but for those of you listening to it in the relatively near future, what is it? What is fucking July? Jesus. I was going to say April and October. July, like 23rd, I think, something like that. San Diego Comic-Con. I will be out in San Diego. A few of us were talking about meeting up. If you are interested, please send an email, or if you are in the group, obviously, throw up a post there. Let us know you're interested. Not sure when or where. If it's only a few of us, we'll probably just figure that out amongst ourselves easily. So, if you are interested and you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con in the year 2014, just in case anybody happens to listen to this at some other bizarre time, hit me up, hit an email, shoot an email, whatever, however you want to contact, or through the Twitter account. There's a Skyrim Addict Twitter account now, just for mostly just to let know when shows are coming out, things like that. So I don't use it a whole lot. So San Diego Comic-Con, you feel like going, you're around, you live in the area, whatever, let us know. We will add you into the planning of a little meetups. Other than that, you can email the show, skyrimadicpodcast@gmail.com. There will be a roundtable coming up very shortly. I already have it. I just got to put it together. Blake put it together. I just got to finish and get it out. Also, be recording later on today with Ben. He's going to be doing his own show, a lore show. So I don't know a lot about lore, so I'm interested. So I'm going to hop on there for the first one at least. And that's kind of what's going on. Other than that, you can join the Facebook group. Search Skyrimatic Podcast on Facebook. The artwork, obviously, by Miss Claire Lafar of Intro to X. You can check out her Etsy store at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFireprints. And I believe she's going to be at the London Comic-Con coming up. She has a booth, so check that out. So if you're in the UK and you're going to the, I don't know what the F stands for in London Comic-Con. It's LFCC. I don't know what it stands for. Anyway, I believe she has a booth there, so look for her and buy some of her stuff. She has awesome stuff. Head over to check out Earwash Show with Andrew. I'm sorry, I'm joking. And Blake. It's dry in this basement. They did an episode with Dale this week from Paper Keg, His Eminence. So check that out. And head over to metalsharkstudios.blogspot.com. Check out, there's going to be more shows popping up there. So that's pretty awesome. Community. That's what I like. So, did I forget anything? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. All right, so if you have any feedback about my vegan character, I could use the help. If you happen to know how things are made that I'm not sure of, like hoods and such, let me know. So if I'm screwing up and using a hood when I shouldn't be, call me out. I will stop using it. I want to kind of do this by pretty strict, like, vegan rules. If I could get an Earth Crisis t-shirt for him, I would, but I don't think that's possible because I can't do mods. Also, check out the latest Chatterbox is out. Chatterbox, 2 words if you search it on iTunes. Chatterbox Podcast. Just a laid-back conversational podcast. I think we talked about chickens and raccoons this week at some point, and maybe foxes. I'm not sure. And some other stuff, but general TV and, anything. Pretty much anything. A little farming, a little bit of everything. I think medical marijuana as well. And we had an actual doctor on the podcast. So take care, everyone. I'm done with this one. Late.
Metal Shark Studio.